Well, no big surprise that Bernie Sanders is coming out with this kind of rhetoric, but what's your response?
Well, I mean, first of all, the first big thing that President Trump did was cut off flights from China. I'm talking to you from Italy, a country where they did not cut off. They have 100,000 Chinese in northern Italy. They had 3 flights a week from Wuhan to northern Italy. They did not cut them off out of political correctness. And for a number of weeks, they had more and more people coming in who already had the disease from Wuhan. So the result was, in Italy, they got to a real crisis. They've closed everything down across the whole country so that you can go to a grocery store, you can go to a pharmacy, you can go to a gas station. You cannot be on the street without some good reason, or they can fine you up to 3,000 euro. And they have police on the street asking people, why are you here? What's your reason? So we saw a case here of being way too slow. President Trump went in initially, and I think Dr. Birx the other day was exactly right. She said in a White House briefing, if the Chinese had not lied and the World Health Organization had not lied, we would all have been 7 or 8 weeks faster, and we might have actually contained it in Wuhan. But because they lied to all of us, we thought a controllable SARS-like infection was nothing like the pandemic we got. And I think China and the World Health Organization, which is basically now run by the Chinese, have a lot to answer for what they did to the world. But in terms of Sanders' comments, look, this is just nonsense. If you go back and look at how many Democrats attacked Trump when he cut off the trips from China, and those trips bought us 6 or 7 weeks. Lastly, I just say, we just put in 4 hospitals, a 2,100 hospital at the Javits Center, 4 medical centers, and a U.S. Naval hospital ship in New York. Now, that is a real surge. That's really focusing resources. And I don't know what Sanders thinks he would have done, but I'll guarantee you he doesn't have the management talent that Donald Trump has.
Well, you know, Newt, as you're probably aware, following it from Italy, it's just the blame game now. Not only do you have Sanders and Joe Biden, you have a lot in the mainstream media here pointing the finger at the president, saying, you're giving us misinformation and you were very slow to act. This blame culture continues to gain momentum, certainly as we head towards the November election.
Look, I think there are people in the news media who hate Trump so much that even if it damages America, they can't help themselves. They get up every morning knowing Donald Trump did something terrible. They just didn't know what it is. And so they spend the whole day looking for an excuse to fight. I think the president, in organizing the quality team he put together, the vice president, who's done a great job of managing this process, the number of companies who've come in to help. In fact, if anything, they're a repudiation of Sanders' kind of socialism, because there's been a huge number of private companies who have brought a great deal of assets to the table, including in particular the pharmaceutical companies that the Democrats like to attack all the time. And yet it's the pharmaceutical companies that give us the hope that we're going to be able to actually solve this. So I don't think the president was perfect, but I think he did an amazing job in a very difficult environment. Nobody saw this coming on January 1st. When we tried to go see the Chinese, and by the way, Secretary Azar first approached the Chinese on January 6th. So it wasn't that we weren't trying. We were just being lied to. And I think that the president will be regarded by historians as having done a pretty good job. And his pushing and shoving, he has done a lot of things to improve the system pretty dramatically in speed and effectiveness and in getting things done. We put up a hospital in New York in less than 4 days. That's better than the Chinese did in Wuhan. Could only be done by using emergency decrees, which the president did.
Last question for you, Newt, and you touched on this about life in Italy right now, but we have the Dow is up more than 1,000 points, in part because of more encouraging news out of Italy. Do you get the sense, you're there on the ground, that the country has turned a corner, perhaps?
Well, my wife, as you know, is the ambassador to the Vatican, so she's involved every single day in reviewing information from around Italy. It does look like the rate of increase has slowed dramatically. From over 10% to about 3.5%. We got a few more days continuing to slow down, we might actually be at the crest and begin to come down. It's encouraging, but we're all still hunkered down in place. We're all still very aware of how dangerous this is. And I don't think anybody wants to rush out and risk reigniting the pandemic here in Italy.
Absolutely not. Well, Newt Gingrich, we thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.